Quickly before we get into the video, if you guys are short on cash for any of the new GTA Online content, then check out G2A's website in the description. They have super cheap and discounted shark cards. Sometimes I find mine for like 50% off, so it's a really good deal. But yeah, if you guys need some money, then definitely check out G2A's website, link below. This is 7 or so things that I think you should know about the Hunter. The Hunter is the newest aircraft to be released in GTA Online, and I'm sure pretty much everyone is going to buy it. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys some very, very useful things, as well as some very cool things that you can do and that you can use with this aircraft to hopefully make your experience a little bit better. Now, I have made a video in the past talking about 10 things you should know before you buy it. I'll link that in the description. I go into detail on a few other things in that, but starting us off, the first thing that I think is probably the most useful, you can actually use the gunner weapon, the explosive cannon, without being in that camera. And the reason that is very helpful and very useful is because you're not limited to the first-person view, and you have a much wider field of view to see and to hit whatever targets you want. Now, there is a downside, which I'll get to in a second, but in the gameplay, what you're seeing, and it's very easy to do, you basically start out inside of the gunner camera, and then you quickly back out of it. And for about 10 seconds or so, you will have the opportunity to shoot that cannon without being in the camera. And you can see how useful it is. I mean, we're just in the military base, killing tanks and stuff, killing other NPCs, but this could also be useful if you're killing other players, because you can easily see where they are and take them out, because the cannon is very good. It's very deadly. Now, like I said, the downside is that it is only there for 10 seconds. I don't think this is like something you're supposed to do, but it's just something that happens. So you can see I'm basically going into the camera for a second and then going out and then trying to locate whatever I'm shooting at. What's weird though is that sometimes it lasts longer than others. Like sometimes I can only shoot maybe 3 times before it doesn't allow me to do that. And then sometimes it lets me shoot 10 to 15 times before it tells me I have to go into the camera to shoot. But this is very, very helpful, and it's just nice to have a wider field of view just to see where you're shooting. I mean, yeah, you only have a little dot on the screen to sort of tell you where you're going to be shooting at, but it's very easy to kill people and to blow things up, and I think a lot of people will find this feature helpful. One other thing I did sort of find out, at least it happened to me a lot, whenever you do this and it brings you back to the third-person view, it will face you whatever way the helicopter is facing. So like if you're aiming at someone behind you, when you're in the camera and then you're trying to get them when you're in the third-person view, you're going to have to sort of quickly wrap the camera around so you can kill them, because it's going to face you the opposite way. I hope that makes sense. You'll sort of see what I'm saying if you look at the gameplay, and if you just do this yourself, you can sort of get a feel for it, but I thought that was probably one of the most useful features that I found out just by accident messing around with the Hunter. Now, speaking of that camera, and this I guess does also apply if you're the pilot, but it's more useful if you're that second gunner. There's a glitch that allows you to use thermal vision while you're in a helicopter or a plane. I've mentioned this before in a video, but just to refresh your memory, the way to do this glitch, you do need an outfit with thermal vision. This also works with night vision, but thermal vision is obviously much better or much more useful. So make an outfit with that thermal vision. Make sure the thermal vision goggles are down. Open up your interaction menu when you're about to get in the Hunter, and make sure someone's in it, by the way, because obviously you're going to get in the pilot seat if no one's in it. So make sure someone's in it, but once you get a pilot in there, open up the interaction menu and hover over the section right above your outfit. And it is going to take some time to get used to, but you want to hit A on your outfit right as your guy is about to take his seat in the plane. It's right before it goes gray. I'll leave a link to the tutorial because I don't want to make this a 5-minute long video explaining this tutorial in depth. I'll leave a link to that in the description. It's very easy to do though. It's just going to take some time. But once you get it right, then you can go into your interaction menu and hit X on the thermal vision goggles, and you will have thermal vision. And that is very useful if you're the gunner, because now you can see people when they're very far away. And if you're going to kill someone, or if you're going to fight, it is super useful because you can see them through buildings, you can see them through walls, obviously, you can see all kind of stuff. It does get somewhat annoying that you can't easily turn it off, Like, you're gonna have to go back into the interaction menu and go to the thermal goggles to hit X to turn it off, but I think the pros far outweigh the cons in this scenario. Do just know if you die or if you leave the helicopter, it's gonna cancel the glitch. You're gonna have to do it again. But those two right there are probably the most useful glitches, tips, tricks, whatever, for the Hunter. Now, some other ones. The bomb camera is actually different on the Hunter compared to how it is on planes. On planes, when you go into the bombing camera, your plane is on autopilot, basically. It'll go higher if you're about to run into a mountain. It'll go lower maybe if you're, something's above you. But it's basically on autopilot. The Hunter is not like that. The Hunter, you have full control over where you're going. And that's actually a good thing, and it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing because if you wobble too much while you're in that bomb camera mode, it will kick you out. You can still bomb people, but you're not going to be in that camera mode. But it's a great thing because it gives you more accuracy on your bombing run. You can fine-tune sort of where you want to drop these bombs. So I think that's a very useful feature that they added. Another thing, and this isn't really a feature, but it's something that I thought was really cool. One of my followers, Gilly Master, he actually DM'd me this and told me that the matte forest green paint job with the olive green pearlescent is basically the Hunter green paint job from San Andreas. And it looks fantastic. I love the way it looks on my helicopter. So if you're looking for a really solid paint job, then you can use the matte forest green with the olive green pearlescent. And if you guys want to leave your own paint job combos in the comment section, if you want to share them, then please do. Another thing that's just a very fun thing to do. Now, you only have 20 shots at this until you replenish it, but if you shoot a homing missile and then immediately use your flares, the homing missile will start freaking out. And I thought this could be a pretty fun little game mode to play with your friends because it's sort of like Russian roulette. Sometimes the missile will actually come back and hit your aircraft. So it could be some sort of game where you play with your friends and whoever gets hit first, they're out. And then you basically just go until someone doesn't get hit. Just an idea, but I thought that was kind of cool and I wanted to mention it. Also, I guess while we're on the flare topic, you can put smoke in this, but it's kind of odd the way it comes out. And it's not very practical. But one thing that I thought of that could be useful, because the first time I saw smoke on the helicopter, like when someone had it, I thought their helicopter was injured. I thought their helicopter was about to go down. So you may end up getting away with smoke because people might think that your helicopter is going to die or something. And then I guess while we're still on that topic, let's talk about the chaff. Now, I did mention in my review that the chaff is not very good for a number of reasons. But the one thing it is very good for, you can get some fantastic pictures with the chaff. As you can see, this is just something I whipped up in like 10 seconds in the Rockstar editor, but there are some really cool things you can do, and I think a lot of people will do with the chaff. And I know the chaff's probably been around, since the Smuggler's Run DLC has come out, and I'm sure people have figured out ways, but no one ever really used it on the planes. So now that you may end up using it on the Hunter, you can use it in more than just the way it was meant for. And then the final thing, this is something that I did unfortunately just want to test out. So normally, or sometimes at least, with your CEO office, if you land a helicopter that's damaged on the roof, it will repair it. That actually doesn't work with the Hunter. So unfortunately, there really is no way to quick heal it. For instance, some of the other vehicles in the game, like cars and trucks and stuff, you can go into a paint spray, or you can go into your garage and it'll heal it, but that doesn't really work with the Hunter. The only way to quick heal it is to bring it back to your hangar. And I guess that is one benefit of having a hangar in the airport, because it's closer to the city. You don't have to go all the way up north to heal it, but it is something I did want to test out, and unfortunately, landing it on your office doesn't do anything. So anyway, there you guys have it. That is about 7 things or so that I think you should know for the Hunter, because some of these are very useful, like the first couple of tips. So hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, please drop the video a like, subscribe for more awesome GTA content. I'm doing a shark card giveaway over on my Twitter for this, so check that out. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.